I'm going to try to write an autobiography about my life. And I've realized that I've kind of forgotten things throughout my life, and my timeline gets a little muddled and whatever. But I guess that's what happens when you live through trauma. Anyways, I am just going to read a little excerpt that I have. I'm not going to read the whole thing that I have. I think I have like 16 chapters made up so far. Um, and I'm thinking of a book title for it. My boyfriend came up with a good name for it, and I think I like it. Born Breach, which means born butt first, because I was born butt first. But without further ado, let's get into the story. My parents weren't supposed to be together, not in the romantic sense, not in the physical sense, not in any sense, really. They were both convicts living in the halfway house, within strict rules and even stricter supervision. They weren't allowed to communicate, but they did. Somehow, between curfews, check-ins, and mandatory meetings, they found each other. Maybe it was love. Maybe it was two broken people clinging to something real. Either way, me and my brother were the result. My mom kept the pregnancy hidden for a while. My dad wasn't even on the birth certificate. I grew up with my mom and my brother. My dad was in prison, so it was just my mom, my brother, and me, figuring things out as we went. Money was always tight, not the kind of tight where you cut back on extras, but the kind where you learn early what you can live without, and we did what we had to do to survive. Sometimes that meant getting creative, sometimes it meant going without, and sometimes it just meant holding things together the best we could. But it wasn't all struggle. We tried to live, to be happy, even when things were hard. There were moments, small ones, that felt normal. Moments where we laughed, where things felt okay, even if things were for a little while, even if just for a little while, life wasn't easy. But we were making it day by day. We were finding a way through. I remember when my brother and I were about 4 or 5, and I didn't know how we were going to get groceries. We were broke. I remember walking into the store with my mom. She was counting her change, trying to figure out what we could afford. It wasn't much. You could see it on her face. She was doing the math, stretching every coin as far as it could go. Right before we walked in, she looked down at the ground. She saw a bill just lying there, $100. She didn't grab it right away. She looked around, scanning the parking lot, like someone might come running back for it. A minute passed. Then a few more minutes passed. Still nothing. After a while, she picked it up and held on to it, just in case. She stood there a while longer, giving someone the chance to come back. But no one did. So we went inside. And for that day, for once, we didn't have to count every single dollar. We got meat. We got good food. The kind we didn't usually get. It felt like something had finally gone right. But that was our life for a while. Survival mode, struggle, making it. Something out of almost nothing. It was just one moment. It wasn't just one moment. It was a pattern. Sorry, I'm like struggling at reading this sometimes. Anyways, it was a way of living. Always figuring things out, always adjusting, always trying to stretch what we had just a little bit further. But somehow, still, we came together as a family. There was still love in it, even when things were hard. We found ways to laugh, to take care of each other, to make something out of what we had. We were struggling in a lot of ways, but we weren't empty. We had each other. and that meant something.